Today's cutie is all about why being nice is not a characteristic that I would want to align with as a former people pleaser. And this is why. Usually, when you make nice decisions, you make them at the expense of yourself. Just think about it. This is why people say, oh my gosh, you're so nice. Because you're doing something that is going to make them feel better. You know exactly what decision that's going to make them feel good. Now let's flip it and say, as much as they have their boundaries and they are telling you what they like, now you are going to enforce your boundaries. Because people pleasers, when we align with this idea of nice, it's like, oh, because I'm nice, I'm not going to enforce my boundaries because I know it will start with the conflict of what everyone else wants. And I'm going to break this down for you. So the definition of nice is being pleasant and agreeable, satisfactory. When making decisions, you always consider other people. And if you are a people pleaser, you also know what decisions to make everyone happy. And nice isn't a terrible word. It's not like an awful acronym to be a part of, you know? Being nice is kind of a word like you kind of like, at least I like being told, oh, you're nice, right? But at the same time, I kind of started peeling back the layers and I was like, maybe nice isn't so good. Because when you're nice, you don't really establish your boundaries because it's not pleasant. It's not satisfactory. Yes, that's exactly it. So instead of being nice, I would suggest you to be a kind person. I am a kind person, but I am not a nice person. And let me break that down for you a little fast. The definition of kind is a group of things or people of similar characteristic. That's the first definition. The second definition, which I think will more align with kind of what we're talking about in this topic, would be of character or nature. Okay? That's just what kind means. Now, let's take the definition of kindness, right? The act of being kind, okay? It is the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. So, now we're going to go back to making two decisions, okay? And you have a kind nature. You are a kind person. This is a characteristic that you would align with, okay? And so, because of that, every decision that you are going to make, it is going to be friendly, generous, and considerate. But not only of everyone around you, but also yourself. You are going to consider everyone, including yourself. And even though, right, it's going to maybe ruffle some feathers because nice is pleasant, right? Like satisfactory, like just everything is pleasant, right? But kind, right? Kind can be, I have boundaries. I want to do this. At the same time, you are being considerate of yourself. Yeah, that's pretty much it. A nice person doesn't need to be nice, they need to be kind. Because kind is saying that you have every right to have your boundary, but I also have every right to have my boundary. Just as much as you're enforcing a boundary, maybe for your own satisfaction and not for a kind reason. Because every decision that I choose to make or I try to make, it's going to be in a kind nature, a character, a way of being. You know, I can have boundaries, but I can also do it in a way of saying I'm going to be respectful of the nature of the situation. My situation is going to be generous, friendly, and considerate. And this is what you have to align with as a nice person. Because, okay, how about this? Because you are kind, you are inevitably going to do nice things. But it is not going to be your character or your nature of being. Saying because when your nature of being is nice, you always go the pleasant way. There is no consideration for yourself. See, the outcome of being nice is pleasantry. The outcome of being kind is generous, friendly, and considerate. Do you get the different energies? Do you get the different ways of being? And I fall into this trap of, oh, I like to be nice. You know, nice, when I get called nice, I don't hate it, right? It's not an awful adjective to be called. At the same time, what about my boundaries? What about what I want? And if I want to be nice, I will take that opportunity. At the same time, I have my boundaries. I am generous for myself. I am friendly to myself. I am considerate for myself. So even though you may want something that is not in alignment with those things that I want, I'm still going to take the action because I am not a nice person. I am a kind person. And that is why I'm choosing to make this decision. And this is the trap that you get into as being a nice person. I am kind, not nice. There's a difference, there's a different energy. There's a difference saying that as much as you have the right to have your personal opinions, your way of going about things, I have every right to have the same. I have every right to speak up for myself instead of just going with the majority, going with the pleasant way. Now, if you are always arguing about every little thing, that's different. You know, I find that being a nice person, it's really, I don't want air quoting nice. I have found that being a nice person has helped me just be agreeable on little shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a very that's a lie. I can argue, babes. But, you know, on a real note, most times I'm pretty agreeable, okay? Unless it's one of my beliefs, one of my values that, girl, I'm gonna stand firm. But I'm kind about it. Because all of my values and my character, my way of being is friendly, generous, and considerate. It's beautiful. It's beautiful when you want to be kind. And kindness is always free. And kindness is what elevates your vibration. Being nice, it makes you feel small. It makes you feel like your voice doesn't matter. Because you can never please everyone, but you can always please yourself in a kind manner. Like I said, nice is not a bad thing to be. I don't want people to think, oh, I hate the word nice, but not a way of being, not a characteristic. You can do kind things that ultimately become nice because it's friendly, generous, and considerate. It ends up being nice, but you actively chose to do it. You did not get pressured into being the nice one, or let's not even say pressured, because you've been so focused on being this character of being nice. You finally are saying, no, I'm making decisions that are considerate, friendly, and kind for all, including me. Because when I have nice as the forefront, nice as the outcome, I forget about myself, because nowhere does it say consideration. In the definition of being nice, in the adjective of being nice, it just says pleasant and satisfactory. You can do that while also being considerate of yourself, considerate of others. That's what they mean when they say, don't be the nice girl. The nice girl always goes with the majority. The nice girl isn't considerate to herself. The nice girl is not generous with herself. Because sometimes your idea of generosity and your idea of friendliness, your idea of generosity and consideration may be different from other people. At the same time, though, if you really are truly a good person in your soul, and I believe most people are, you're going to act in a way of consideration. Because some people make decisions and they don't even consider anybody except themselves. And nice people have been so used to making decisions in consideration for other people that they don't end up making the kindest decision. Because remember, God, the universe, spirit, anything you want to believe in, okay? Maybe even yourself, your highest being, listen to me when I say this, wants you to be that higher being, that happy person, that kind person who makes decisions and does things in the space of love and in the space of generosity, consideration, and friendliness. But you can only do that when you start having this nature of a person, and always remembering that the list of consideration as a quote-unquote nice person is me, everybody else. But you will do it in a kind way. You will not be, because when you think in a retrospect of being kind, you are considerate of the other people. You may actually choose to sacrifice or compromise as this nice person, but you are actively choosing to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are saying, I've considered everything and this is my ultimate decision, which will then be in the betterment of everyone because it's also friendly and generous. And also, you can stand firm in you. Being nice isn't always the greatest thing. Being nice doesn't get you what you want because you're not considering yourself. You're just considering the pleasant way, the satisfactory way. No, babes, you deserve more than satisfactory. You deserve generosity and friendliness because you give it to everyone else, but you don't give it to yourself. And yeah, now it gives me a high, bro, because you must understand. For me, this is my problem. I don't need to be nice. I need to be kind. And kind is already a character. And yeah, I don't know. But that's like the end of it. So, babes, if you're a people pleaser or you are a recovering people pleaser, because, people can say as a former people pleaser, I still think that it's inevitable. We've made this decision for so long that it's always our first decision. But just switch it. Switch it to say, instead of being nice, I'm kind, which means I'm kind to myself. And that starts creating self-love and start creating community and start understanding boundaries. And you just start growing as this entity and saying, I am kind, which may result in doing nice things, but I chose to do them with myself in mind. Yeah, so that's why I don't want to align with that characteristic. I would align with the characteristic of being kind, and we think they fall in the same category, but they really don't. Because when you approach things with a kindness as an outcome, it's different than being nice. Just a little bit. Yep, that's the end of my podcast. I hope this resonated with someone, helped anyone, and I will see you guys in my next cast episode. Have a blessed day. Try to see the magic in the world, and I will see you next week. Bye. Bye.